Hey, second grade, this is Mrs. Alar here to go over your problem of the day of today. Today is Friday, March 27th. So if you haven't done the pod yet, go up before you watch this video and do the problem of the day in your notebook and then come back and watch and see if you got it correct. So our problem of the day says, Marco had 62 crayons. He gave 28 crayons to his sister to use. How many crayons does Marco have now? So in Mrs. Alar's class, we like to say a little rhyme to remind us what we do when we see a word problem. So what we say is, when I see words, I stop and say, read 3 times to solve today. So we read it once, and we now know that we're reading a word problem. Now we're going to read it for the second time, and we're going to read it the second time and really think and create a movie in our mind. Marco had 62 crayons. Picture that in your mind. He gave 28 crayons to his sister to use. Picture that happening in your mind. How many crayons does Marco have now? So now we've read it 2 times. We're going to read it one more time for the 3rd time to make sure we fully understand what's happening. Marco had 62 crayons. He gave 28 crayons to his sister to use. How many crayons does Marco have now? So now that we've read it 3 times, let's go ahead and mark up our problem to make sure that we know what we're doing. So we know that he had 62. He gave 28 to his sister and is asking how many does he have now. So we know that he started with this number, he gave some away, and it's wanting to know how many he has now. So we know that we have to take away 28 from 62. So we know that this is a subtraction problem. So now that we know what to do, let's go ahead and try and write our equation. So we know that we have 62 giving away 28 minus 28 equals blank. So let's go ahead and solve this problem using a 100, tens, and ones chart. So we know that this is a problem that is 2 digits, so we could go ahead and cross out our hundreds column. So looking back at our problem, we know that the problem is 62 minus 28. So I'm going to write that down on the top of my paper. 62 minus 28 equals blank. We don't know what it equals, right? We can also rewrite our subtraction equation as a change unknown. We like to do that to make sure that we are understanding the numbers. So we could also write this as 28 plus what equals 62. That's just another way to represent the same equation. So let's go ahead and get started. We have 62. We're going to go ahead and draw 62 out in our tens and ones. We see that it's 6 tens and 2 ones. So let's draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tens and 1, 2 ones. So now we're continuing to look at our problem 62 minus 28. We go over to our smaller number to cross out. First, we always start our ones. Well, there's an 8 in the ones place here. Do I have 8 ones? Nope, I have 2. So I have to unbundle. So I squiggle 1 10 because we know that 1 10 equals 10 ones. We know that this is true. So we squiggle 1 out, we unbundle, and then we draw out 10 because 1 10 is 10 ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we have 8 ones to take away. So let's take away 8 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And how many tens? There's a 2 in the tens place, so we take away 2 tens. Now we can go ahead and count out our final number. We see that the number has 1, 2, 3 tens and 1, 2, 3, 4 ones. So we know that our number is 34. I hope this was helpful for you and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, guys.